Happy Thanksgiving Day, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who is watching this video. It is exactly Thanksgiving Day as I'm recording this video. And yeah, why not, what better way to start off the holiday season than watching a movie titled Thanksgiving? Like, this is perfect. It's perfect timing. But anyway, this is a slasher movie, and it's directed by Eli Roth. And listen, this movie came out in November 17th last year, 2023. But during that time, November 17th, I was at Universal Orlando with my family, with my fam. And because of that, scheduling conflicts, I did not see this movie in theaters in person, and I was really disappointed. I was bummed out because I've been hearing a lot of positive reviews. I think it got like 80 plus percent on Rotten Tomatoes. It's been getting a lot of good reviews from both critics and the audience members, and I just I was shaking my head that I did not see this movie in theaters. But yeah. But anyway, yes. This movie is based on Eli Roth's fictitious trailer of the same name from Grindhouse, which came out in 2007. It is the third feature-length adaptation of a fictitious Grindhouse trailer after Robert Rodriguez's Machete, which came out in 2010, and Eisener's Hobo with a Shotgun, which was released in 2011. And in this movie, it follows a small Massachusetts town that is terrorized by a killer in a John Carver mask around the Thanksgiving holiday 1 year after a Black Friday riot ended in tragedy. So this movie, like I said, this movie is directed by Eli Roth, who is a director and a producer, and he's really associated. His name is really associated with the scary horror genre, specifically splatter films, kind of like this one. Um, but yeah, he, but yeah, he but yeah, he also directed other movies that you might recognize, such as Cabin Fever, Hostel, The Man with the Iron Fist. Now, that movie, I did see the man. Well, he didn't direct The Man with the Iron Fist, but he did wrote that movie, and he was a co-producer of The Man with the Iron Fist. But yes, he directed Cabin Fever, which was like his directorial debut, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Hostel. The Man with the Iron Fist. I did see that movie. I know he didn't. Like I know he didn't direct it, but I did. I just want to let you guys know I did see that movie in theaters because the trailers and the posters, it looked really good and promising. So I went out and saw the movie. But yeah, he directed The Green Inferno and Knock Knock and Cabin and he also wrote like a remake of his Cabin Fever film, and he also directed Death Wish, which I believe it wasn't Bruce Willis. It was no, I think it was Bruce Willis. I'm like, it's either Bruce Willis or Jason Statham. I think it was Bruce Willis. I want to say Bruce Willis. But he also directed The House with a Clock in Its Walls, which I did not see, but it stars Jack Black. But yeah, all of his movies have gotten a lot of negative reviews from critics. I heard The Green Inferno was an absolute dumpster fire. Knock Knock was just a mess. And pretty much the house with the clock in its walls is probably the only mediocre, solid, whatever, okay, like a pass for Eli Roth. But yeah, so here we are with Thanksgiving, and let me tell you guys this. This movie, I had a really good time watching this movie. I really I do believe, even though I haven't seen his movies, all of his movies, I'm not caught up yet. I did see. I mean, I didn't see any of those movies, but I did see he directed Borderlands, which was a borderline mess, which is a borderline piece of garbage film. Um, but yeah, one of the worst movies of this year, Borderlands. Um, but anyway, Thanksgiving is. I can't believe it took like this man Eli Roth has been directing since 2000 and since like 2001, 2000, 2002, like the early 2000s, and it's 2024. And ladies and gentlemen, I can 100% confirm that Thanksgiving is his best work. It's his best film. It's his best project, in my opinion, that he's ever been. He's directed. He's been involved with, and I think a lot of people, I think a lot of critics out there, you people, you guys out there might agree with that. Um, Even though I haven't seen, like I said, I'm not caught up with every single Eli Roth movie, but except this and Borderlands. Yeah, but yeah, this movie, I was watching this movie and I'm like, I recognize some of the actor, well, just one actor in particular, and that's Addison Ray, who I don't who Addison Ray is she's a social media personality, and she rose to fame. She's very famous on TikTok, but I don't use TikTok. I don't give a fuck about TikTok. Um, so but I did listen to her music. We most recently I listened to Diet Pepsi, which is a single that she released. I listened to it and it's I like it. I really like her songs and her music a lot. Um, so yeah. But anyway, going back to this movie, it's a really good movie. Like I said, it's a really fun, entertaining movie, and probably I think we can all agree it's the best Eli Roth film that he's ever made, because all of his past movies, yeah, they put like Cabin Fever and Hostel, they those movies like those put him on everyone's radar, like critics and audience members radar, but those movies aren't like great, they aren't perfect, they aren't great like as a movie, like with the story and the acting. From what I heard, and from what I've seen, it sounds like it's really shitty. It's really shitty, and no one's a fan of them. They're not really good movies. Hostel and Cabin Fever, Death Wish, The Clock with its walls, whatever the fuck it's called, Knock Knock. You know, those are not like really good movies. They're pretty bad movies. But yeah, this is like the best one. His best one. And there is, this is a holiday movie. This is a obviously, no shit. It's a holiday movie, but it's also it's a holiday horror movie is the best way I can describe it. Kind of like Terrifier 3. Um and let me tell you, there is a lot of like over the top humor, and the kills in this movie, guys, are, like I said, they're over the top and extremely exaggerated. Like the acting is really exaggerated, but it's not like it doesn't like cross the line where it like the acting and like the kills, the murders in this movie is like, oh, it's literally unbelievable, and it looks and it's fake as hell. It actually, believe it or not, it actually fits the tone of the movie itself, which is a horror movie, but it's also a dark humor. But there's a lot of dark humor tone, and the acting and the murders and everything really fits it, and it really does balance it all out very evenly. But yeah, it combines like a really good like a really good amount of humor with a delight of like over the top like extreme gore and blood. Very exaggerated, like I said. um it does follow the rules of like like any other like slasher genre. Like for me, Scream. Like for me, when I was watching this movie, and particularly near the end of the movie, as you know, the story starts to unravel. I'm like, you know what? I was thinking to myself, and I said to myself, this feels like Scream, like the Scream movies, and I love those movies, the Scream franchise with Ghostface. It does feel like that, and it does follow the rules of like a typical slasher genre. But you know, it's not bad. It's very entertaining. It has a very entertaining atmosphere. That these that these types of movies, like these horror slasher splatter movies, that the old ones, the older ones used to have. Um, but yeah, like I mean, if I have to pick out like an issue or like a complaint or like a flaw, I mean, this movie feels like, I mean, it feels like, I mean, I don't really know. Actually, at moments, at times in the movie, it could feel like um a trailer. Like you're not watching a movie, it feels like a cheap, generic trailer. Um but yeah, like if you've seen the trailer, you know pretty much you pretty much have seen the film. If you've seen the trailer, then what happens in the movie, like it's all set out for you. But like that's pretty much it. I do know Eli Roth announced on his social media account, I think it was Instagram, that sequel has been greenlit and it's coming out next year, 2025. Hopefully, hopefully around Thanksgiving. Hopefully they plan everything out in time for a perfect release on Thanksgiving weekend next year. But yeah, I heard that a lot of the actors, including Addison Rae, are expected to return for the sequel to this movie, and I'm happy for Eli Roth, because this is like because then that would mean like, I mean, Cabin Fever was a remake. The 2016, I think it was 2016, was a remake, but this would be like the first like movie that Eli Roth directed that would have a sequel. So that's congratulations for him and for everyone. But yeah, like this is probably the best Eli Roth film. Um, and I think you guys are definitely going to have a great time watching this movie. Um, like even though it's Thanksgiving, even though the movie takes place like during Thanksgiving, Black Friday, you can also watch it back. You can watch it like you can watch it on Thanksgiving Day, sure, Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, um, or maybe just Halloween. I can see myself watching this movie like 2 or 3 times a year, because it doesn't feel, I wasn't bored. It doesn't feel slow paced. And I think you guys should definitely check this movie out. I don't know with your family, but definitely with your friends if you want. Have them over. I mean, have them, over. This movie's on Netflix. I saw this movie on Netflix. So invite your friends over and watch this movie if you want to. If you and your friends have nothing to do, just invite them over, and watch this movie. You guys are going to have a great time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone on for too long. I really enjoy this movie. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking time to listen to my review, my thoughts on Thanksgiving. Please like and subscribe. Do all of that great stuff that I know you do. And yeah, definitely subscribe because that would help me out a lot. And I don't think there's much else to say. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.